says, listen live. And one click of that, you're listening just that quick. Weather for us today here in the Sand Hills area, and the video stream is up and running now. Well, you know, after all the suffering we've done for the last 6 months, heat, relentless humidity, mosquitoes, not one but two hurricanes, relentless rain from the first one, and a good dosing yesterday that put 7,000 people in the dark. Well, we finally have reached fall-like weather. Woohoo! What a journey. Sunny today with a high of 70. Doesn't get much better than that. 70's too high for me, but more people like it, I guess. Clear tonight, good sleeping weather through. The windows open, low humidity, low of 52. Tomorrow, sunshine and 69. Tomorrow night, clear again, a low of 50. Sunday, 71. Monday, we're going to have one little day there where the humidity jumps up. Your dew points will be right at 69. And the temperature will be 78. So it won't be too hot, but still muggy. And then we drop back down to drier weather for the rest of the week. Right now around the Sand Hills, winds are from the northwest at 7, visibility 10 statute miles. Pressure 2980 and on the rise, dew point 50. Humidity 83%. It's clear and 55 degrees currently here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM and 990 AM WEEB. You know, we usually talk to Coach Mesker on Fridays, and the schools are closed, and I tried to call him. He might be getting a rare morning of sleep because they practice at
like 2 in the morning,
5 o'clock in the morning, and it's because it's cooler, and it just gets the boys started better. So anyway, it seems to have worked out for him, and it's part of the whole program there at Pinecrest football. And so he didn't answer, so I'm assuming he's getting a rare morning of sleep because the Pinecrest game has been canceled for tonight. Lumberton is where the game site is this time around, and they will play on Monday night instead. So that'll be on Monday. All right, 7:35 after the hour. Let's get on our morning sound bites this morning. Halloween's almost here. And, first let's back up. Let's talk about power. A lot of power out in our area. Right at just under 7,000 meters are down right now. And in our immediate area. And that's at 362 different locations. So they don't do power as usual, though it doesn't put a restoration time on there. They wouldn't want to give you any goal to gut it out to. No, you just live in wonder as to whether it's going to be today or next month. You know, it's not it's just not right for them to treat the customers that way. But when you got a monopoly, you don't have to care. And the board of directors that do power do not care. You know, they dump the coal ash and everything else, and they never bury a line. You see very little maintenance on the lines. They just wait for it to fall down, and then they pick it up. Of course, they charge you for the pickup. But anyway, fortunately, we didn't have any loss of power here. We had a few blips and scares, but we kept our power, just like we did during Florence, which... that was an absolute miracle. I credit the good Lord for that one, not Duke Energy. But I think we've lost our power here so many times, they finally have cleared a lot of the limbs back that caused the problems. And maybe we have a clear path on our limbs now.
My son said they got virtually nothing up there with Florence, but this time, yesterday, students at NC State were...
Up there being Raleigh? Okay.
Students at NC State were trudging through water up to their, halfway up to their knees.
That's what it was when I went to college. It snowed, it rained. College was open. You went to class.
Yeah, it's still open.
Yeah. If you're going to get your education, go get it. It's going to be available.
But the point was they didn't get anything with the big hurricane, and this one, by the time it got to us, was a storm, but it dumped a lot of water and flooded a lot of areas up there.
Well, it was a big, heavy shower, and the water can't dissipate so fast. So
it's one of the nice things about the low humidity. It can evaporate better.
Yeah. What is that, low humidity you speak of? Woohoo! Well, we got it now. We do have nice falls here when it ever gets here, with a few insertions of summer along the way. Last year, remember in December, I was running the AC in the car because it was hot for a few days. I always remember my 105-year-old grandmother. When she passed away in December. And I went to her funeral in a little town called Willow Springs, North Carolina, which is about 13 miles from Raleigh, just right next to Fuquay Arena. And I'll tell you a story about Fuquay in a second. But out there in the country, they have gnats. And for some reason, all the gnats decided to come out that day. And when we were out at the graveside, part of the service, gnats were just consuming everybody. They were just everywhere. And that was back when I smoked. And I pulled out a cigarette and lit it. I stood in the back of the crowd and lit the cigarette because all that was there were family members and a few others because all her peers were dead. She outlived them all. But the smoke kept the gnats off of me.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And people were migrating toward me because I didn't have gnats all over me.
Those